As early as 1947, when he first saw the Qumran text, Professor Sukenik had suggested an Essene character for their authorship. Father de Vaux and his team also invoked the traditional image of the Essenes. As we have noted, de Vaux was quick to identify Qumran with the Essene settlement mentioned by Pliny. The community at Qumran, Professor Cross concurred, was an Essene settlement. It soon became regarded as an established and accepted fact that the Dead Sea Scrolls were essentially Essene in their authorship, and that the Essenes were of the family kind pacifist, ascetic, celibate, divorced from public and particularly political issues. The community at Qumran, the consensus view, contends built upon the much earlier remains of an abandoned Israelite fortress, dating from the 6th century BC. The authors of the scrolls arrived at the site some time around 134 BC, and the major buildings were erected around 100 BC, and thereafter a chronology safely and uncontroversially pre-Christian. The community was said to have thrived until it was decimated by an earthquake, followed by a fire in 31 BC. During the reign of Herod the Great, 37 to 4 BC, Qumran was abandoned and deserted. And then, in the reign of Herod's successor, the ruins were reoccupied and rebuilding undertaken. According to the consensus, Qumran then flourished as a quietist, politically neutral and disengaged enclave until it was destroyed by the Romans in AD 68. During the war that also involved the sack of Jerusalem. After this, the site was occupied by a Roman military garrison until the end of the 1st century, when Palestine rose in revolt again between AD 132 and 135. Qumran was inhabited by rebel squatters. It was a neat, conveniently formulated scenario which effectively diffused the Dead Sea Scrolls of whatever explosive potential they might have. But the evidence seems to have been ignored when expediency and the stability of Christian theology so dictated. There is a contradiction quite apart from the geographical question in de Vaux's assertion that the passage from Pliny quoted here on page 20 refers to Qumran, a contradiction which pertains to the dating of the scrolls. Pliny is referring in this passage to the situation after the destruction of Jerusalem. The passage itself indicates that En-Gedi has likewise been destroyed, which it was the Essene community, however, is described as still intact and even taking in a throng of refugees. Yet even de Vaux acknowledged that Qumran, like Jerusalem and En-Gedi, was destroyed during the revolt of AD 66-73, it would thus seem even more unlikely that Pliny's Essene community is in fact Qumran. What is more, Pliny's community, as he describes it, contains no woman, yet there are women's graves among those at Qumran. It is still, of course, possible that the occupants of Qumran